have psychic abilities instilled in you because they are necessary for your holy mission. Not all are as aware as you are of the psychic transmissions that bombard all of humanity. Many must duck and run for cover from these transmissions, lest their awareness of their imbalances becomes so acute that they are forced to make life changes. To weather the storm of a harsh life, some must turn off this faculty, and there is an understandable reluctance to reunite with their psychic side. This topic warrants some discussion because all who can hear will do so soon enough. But that is not up to us. It is up to each individual to discover for him or herself. Once someone has had a psychic transmission, their life is altered beyond measure. They no longer look upon their surroundings in quite the same way, and their day-to-day tasks feel mundane and less meaningful. They seek to grow and share in more profound ways, thus creating chaos in their once orderly environment. This is why it is essential that those who need to take it slow in developing their psychic side. To do so quickly would be to introduce new stress into their already overburdened life. Their ability to cope depends upon shielding themselves from some psychic transmissions, particularly from their oversoul, which urges them to sustain themselves using much simpler means. They strive and move forward and do not realize the alternatives that lay before them. Still, they could fathom these spiritual truths at this time. A part of them was introduced to the topic of manifestation, and they were fascinated. Yet they also remained quiet and afraid. They decided that the whole topic was a sham and definitely not for them. They turned away from the magical aspects of spirituality and concentrated upon the concreteness or orderly rules. In this respect, their own minds and lives were kept orderly and predictable. You who are blessed with eyes that are opened, gaze upon your hapless brothers and sisters with a loving outlook. See them in their truth, even if they cannot see this for themselves. Give them a push in the direction of light, not by forcing their eyes to see, but by being a shining example of truth yourself. Admire everyone's beauty freely and drink in the perfume of spirit that is all around you. And use your psychic gifts to shower the world with divine light. You are given the ability to know many things that perhaps the average person cannot understand, or, more accurately, is unwilling to explore. Take your time to get to know your strengths, and do not seek to dazzle others with your abilities. Instead, use this gift as one more method of extending kindness and appreciation. Any tool that is used in this service is from the light indeed. Is there a process of rebirth where the child's soul has come from another part of the universe to be rejoined with certain factions whom he or she has known before? Why, certainly yes. This process need not surprise you, since you already marvel at the wondrous power of which God and humans are capable. Why should the soul be incapable of retreading itself through many lifetimes? The very nature of the universe has given humans power and dominion over their soul's destiny, including the ability to travel through time and space. You see, reincarnation is but a small parcel of the entire project within the label of human growth, as you call it. We merely term it adventures of the soul, in which the human traits are attributed to the soul through a recycling of lifetimes. It marks time, offers excitement, as well as a good deal of experience that any soul may gain. It isn't sinful, as some may fear. It is merely one more way to mark time, much as any decision is made during any given lifetime. Each soul has experiences collected from this vast environment stored in their subconscious. Some are their own experiences. Some are those gathered from others. In the subconscious, these experiences are all the same. They mark the forward movement of time, which is viewed as progress and is pleasurable. Yet the election to participate in the reincarnation process also has the flip side effect of locking the soul into time, simply because the being is convinced that progression comes through marking time. This belief reinforces the attributes of time and flattens their very abilities to escape it. Some of you fear that a soul without a physical life is one without meaning or shape. Cast into a void, the non-physical soul lives a gray and unaware existence you fear. So you cling to your human shape, hoping that this will carve out some semblance of meaning and importance. You see yourselves as lacking, and you hope that through time you will progress into one who lacks not. Yet how could any creation of God want for anything? It is only a belief that the future will bring you goodness that entangles you into a mire of lack and a dependency on the future and a need for time measurement. The escape from this trap is simple, yet you may feel confined by the reinforced measurement of time that you see mirrored around you. Rather than attempt to escape from time measurement, then, do train your mind to escape from self-judgments concerning lack. You do not lack anything, and you cannot afford to continue this self-judgment any longer. The human race must stop confusing material supply with human worthiness. You are worthy, and you do have everything. If this confuses you, because your world seems to mirror otherwise, press forward still. Your Creator wills for you to have everything, now and for all of eternity. God sees that you have no needs, and that you are supplied in every way. Yet, with your God-given power of creation, you can paint a picture of lack at your command. This gives you pleasure in some way, perhaps by allowing you to get along with your fellow humans, who seem so invested in the sense of lack and the need for progress. Your soul needs no progress, for it has never left God's side and has never forgotten its holy self and wondrous gifts. By listening to your soul, you hear the echoes of this truth. You are supplied, you are home, and you are safe now. Although romantic love doesn't hold a candle to the brightness of the divine flame of love, and doesn't come close to the comfort that is unparalleled from being cradled in God's divine perfection, romantic love does pose a worthy substitute of sorts. First, it provides you with a sense of safety and protection. There are so many feelings of danger in this world, yes? So many times when a longing for safety and protection is satisfied only within your lover's arms. Romantic love begins with a diluted sense of safety, which is then substituted for an additional sense of danger along the way. What we mean is this. You initially begin the course of your relationship with open-minded trust, and then you pick items from your discourse that remind you of danger. You analyze the details of your relationship, deciding upon this or that as indications that you are unsafe. You then embellish these feelings with unhappiness, feeling that, once again, all of your hopes are being dashed. What you are really seeking within the context of a romantic love relationship is carelessness. A carefree attitude and spirit is the hope for all of God's creations. We do not mean that you would sidestep your responsibilities with carelessness. Oh no. We merely mean that you would cast your cares and worries to love and trust in the power of the universe to carry you safely. Your cares are wearisome, and they cause you great sorrow and heavy burdens. You seek a partnership where you can escape these encumbrances, even if momentarily. A respite from the constant turmoil and stress is essential to your soul's peace of mind. When a new relationship offers this escape, you naturally are blissful. The balance in a romantic relationship is thus, then, to keep the relationship from adding to your burdens. So many partnerships explode and die when a perception occurs that this relationship is creating more feelings of danger than it is easing. For when additional stressors occur as a result of the relationship, the natural reaction is to seek safety and shelter. This is when most relationships get into trouble, for the partner seeks this shelter and safety outside of the relationship. Only through casting your inevitable cares and worries to the true source of love, God, can a partnership remain on the highest plane possible. If the partners are willing to do this together, so much the better. Then there is hope that romantic love will continue to be a shelter in the storm, instead of a mirage that cruelly offers sustenance that doesn't exist. Romantic love is a frontage road, running parallel to the true path of God's divine love. Romantic and divine love can complement one another, as they are essentially from the same source. Yet, when romantic love is sought as a replacement for divine love, dissatisfaction always creeps in. Remember to bring a sense of the sacred into your romantic love relationship, and to seek for safety and shelter together in the only place that it can be found, in God within. There is a part of your human consciousness that often criticizes you with harsh intent. It wounds your emotions and drags down the elevation with which you view yourself. When this happens, you neglect to notice your godliness, and you may forget to see it within others. Grandiosity is also involved, as it elevates you to a place of safety, where nothing concerns you and no one can harm you. Elevations or disruptions in your godly self-perception create crises within you, beloved one. Forget not your holy Creator, who steadily resides within you now. There is no room for error on His part, and nothing that He created comes undone from its origin of perfection. This criticism that you suffer at your own hands is your own invention, designed to propel you from the heights of heaven and cast you down into the bowels of self-suffering. And why would a heavenly creation choose such a course as this? Experimentation is part of the design behind this decision. Creative suffering is a way for humans to extinguish their thirst to return home to heaven. By placing yourself in a negative light, you effectively forget about your heavenly home, and in that respect you feel more settled in your earthly home. Yet, we are here to herald in a new and different way to extinguish your painful longings for home, dearest child of God. This pain you can turn around and use it to elevate yourself in consciousness to a new level of awareness of your truth. The truth that is within suffering is but a pinpoint upon a whole landscape of awareness that awaits you now. Learning through suffering is a slow and arduous task, while we stand idly by, ready to whisk you off to a conscious awareness of your inner truth. You who have such greatness in store for you must not wait a moment more to grasp this option that is so readily available. Take it in hand and cleave it tightly to your chest. For you are all-powerful like your Creator, but in a different way. Your creations can be in the awakening to joy when you choose to experience that joy for yourself. Your joy bubbles over, frothing outward, encouraging others, much like a laugh catches on within a group. There is much opportunity for you now to promote this joy within and without, and you must forsake suffering and leave it behind. Your self-esteem is simply an assessment of how you are spending this very moment. It is similar to noting how you are spending your money and whether you are respecting this valuable resource. As you suffer, you are disregarding the valuable opportunity of that moment and negating choices of joy that are presently available to you. As you soar in laughter, you have respected your options and chosen wisely. This is true even when you are engaged in responsibilities that you would deem serious. There is still room for laughter in your heart in each situation, no matter the context. When you speak of high self-esteem, we know that you mean having great regard and respect for yourself. And we say that the route to this result is through regarding and respecting your resources of the moment, right now. Fully squeeze the juice of joy from this moment, and you shall be gladdened that you made the decision that helps your inner self to rest peacefully. You who have the power of all of heaven's spheres within your belly have no need to ever disregard yourself, for you are as holy as any of heaven's creations. You are a shining example of God's handiwork, encapsulated in a being so lovely that all of heaven breathes deeply at the sight of you. Do you not realize that we love you eternally, and that we work tirelessly to bring you through periods of restlessness, sorrow, and peril into the light of joy? Everything is built in your favor, dear one, and we but await your decision to stand in the light of this joy. When you close your eyes and drift away, do you believe that your soul escapes the confines of earthly life and momentarily wends its way heavenward to replenish and remind? Yes, it is true, in case you wondered about this. Beloved one, these dream-time travels are your solace and salvation in so many ways. They provide you with escape from harsh climates, a chance to examine them from afar, and a way to receive a fresh approach to life. All we ask is that you trust that your travels are put together for prime reasons, and that no harm can come unto you. Your sleep time is guaranteed to be infused with safety in all ways. What we mean is that no harm can come onto your body while we safeguard it during your passage time. You vent during the escape, much like steam escaping and releasing pent-up pressure. Without this nightly escape, life could seem unbearable to you. Often, you remember fragments of these soul escapes and you wonder, what do they mean? Yet, although you cannot recall the particular details of the night's adventures, they serve their purpose well. First, they function as an escape valve, releasing built-up pressure within the system. Second, these dreamtime sojourns provide you with conscious realization of your holy and divine nature. These are opportunities for you to witness and experience your holy nature without prejudice or judgment on your part. You are beautifully open to us during these journeys, and it is only upon awakening that you may argue with your logical mind as to the reality of the experience. Yet, even with your logical mind's rejection, the experience is lodged within your subconscious nonetheless. Your in-soul or higher self is witness to heaven's beauty each night, thereby refueling it for another earthly day. Sleep is refreshing due to these journeys, and you awaken feeling renewed because of this built-in pleasure. When you join us each dream time for a class or an assignment, we welcome you with open arms and you melt into our embrace. It is as if you are starving for affection most times that we connect in this way. And perhaps that is the greatest value of the sleep time of all, a chance for you to witness life's most amazing miracle, love. Feeling it, drinking it in, replenishing yourself, and reminding you of your holy origin. Sleep well, beloved one. We will see you in your dreams. There is more truth to the term soulmate than some would realize. For a soulmate is literally a mate from your soul group, a being who has been furnished to you as an earthly guide, even as you are furnished to him or her. You must recall at your deepest level that your origin is not of the earth. It is of that stratosphere that you term as heaven, in which souls reside. Some of these souls create close-knit bonds, forming companionships, clusters, and groups in some instances. These assemblies vary in size and dimension, depending upon the common interests of the beings concerned. These beings become mates in the sense of companions and comrades. They depend upon each other for guidance and advice. When a mate branches off and opts for a lifetime upon a planet, it is common for another mate to volunteer to accompany him or her along the way. A recognition of a soulmate when you are upon Earth is an exciting moment. There is a degree of familiarity with such a person that is unearthly. Yet, this is not to be confused with the desire for a close-knit love bond with a romantic partner who will be your perfect mate. The fact that your soulmate is bonded to you is undeniable. Yet, it does not automatically follow that this soulmate will be bound to you for a lifetime. This person comes to you to comfort you and to bring you solace from home. He or she comes to watch over you, to remind you of your earthly lessons, and to bring you earthly gifts. Yet it would be a logical fallacy to believe that this could be the one for whom you seek in your romantic fantasies. The one, in the sense of the world's meaning, is quite elusive. It is a romantic notion, to be sure, and one that many do find, and even more chase after. Yet the one does not equate to a soulmate necessarily, for a soulmate is what you might instead term a helpmate. That is, one who helps you to accomplish the mission that you elected to attain in this lifetime. Your soulmate is literally a friend from home, sent to give you recognition of the one who is your source and your creator. Your soulmate helps you to recall the one's light and everlasting love. When you are attracted to a soulmate, you are attracted to God's qualities that you see within that being. When you love a soulmate, you are literally loving God. Each partnership comes to you for a specific reason and purpose, and you will feel a tugging at your heart toward your beloved. This tugging is the very pull of the purpose behind the partnership. The goal of the partnership may be fulfilled within minutes or within decades. But one thing is certain: when the purpose has been served, the pull of the relationship will subside. The partners may say that they are turned off, yet the truth is that they are now off to serve another purpose and will likely be united with new partners. Their love will never dissolve, and gratitude is owed to one another for the important part in which they each participated. Then it is time to stop looking back and to be committed to serving the purpose in the current moment. You may meet and love many soulmates, dear one, depending upon your soul group's size and dimensions. Some of your soulmates are yet in spirit, awaiting an earthly birth. You will teach many of them during your earthly time, and you will also learn from them as well. And ultimately, your return to your soul group is marked with happiness and joy. Why not enjoy that happiness and joy now, while you are with these great beings sent to you from home? When you meet a soulmate, do not seek to capture this person, but enjoy and delight in their heavenly gifts. Drink them in to fuel yourself for your earthly mission. Whether or not this partnership culminates in union is not what matters. It is the process of seeing heaven reflected in their holy eyes and having this vision mirrored back to you of your own divine self that truly is important. Soulmates, you are blessed indeed. We angels kiss you with gratitude as you shine upon one another His holy and divine grace and love. Wherever you find stress, you will also find feelings of victimhood. Anger at being forced beyond one's willingness is the essence of stress. The tension is spurred by underlying resentment toward misperceived authorities. Misperceived because no one has authority over you. No one can force you, no one but your own powerful self. All stress is self-imposed, since all stress-inducing situations are elected by your own free will. There are no exceptions, because in all doings you have the choice to remove yourself from the stressful situation. While it is true that certain consequences would follow, it still holds true that your options are always freely available to you. Dear ones, the truth concerning stress is that you choose pain when you are afraid of delving into your holy life purpose. Pain is a time deceiver, covering the holes in your schedule that ache to be devoted toward your life's purpose. When you are unsure of yourself, your abilities, your strengths, and your very gifts, you divert yourself with pain. Stress is perhaps the most common that we see among you, for this pain is elective, acceptable, and socially reinforced. Have no shame, though, as shame is among the most painful of the stressors that you can carry. It is wounding and prohibitive, preventing you from experiencing your divine power. Shame stress cloaks your light, blinding you to your God self, and thus you feel incapable of contributing to the world. When you feel stress, call upon us angels and allow us to open the doors of self-made prisons that you have barred yourself behind. Allow us to drop your defenses, your sense of unworthiness. Allow us to fan the flames of your divine light so that you can step up to your life's purpose without hesitation, without delay, and without compromise. Stress is not your prisoner. You are. Imprison yourself no longer, for you are a holy child of the power. You are born to take this power out into the world and experience it as the life-changing force that brings great joy to many. You are meant to move forward in large, sweeping motions and subtle, soft breaths. You cannot stop the movement of God's child with the illusion of imprisonment, no more than you can contain the sparks of the sun. As you catapult outwardly, release any fears or doubts to us angels. In that way, you will not need the shield of stress to protect you from any harm that may be involved in fulfilling your life's purpose. Only the ego fears that your purpose will harm you, and it offers to shield you from this harm with diversions. No matter that you are unsure of the direction or outcome that this mission calls you toward, no matter that you have no explicit guarantee of success except your soul's ceaseless beckoning, your soul knows that uncovering its natural happiness lies in extending its happiness outwardly, like a spring bubbling forth with its precious gift of water. As you flow forward, you naturally avoid situations that would deter or delay you. You have that choice, and you have the ability to choose now. We seek to remind you that you have always been able to cope with each situation that has presented itself to you. This is as true of your future as it is of your past. There is no danger lurking in a corner, ready to pounce on you. Yet this fear of controlling your future is a large contributor to your stress, is it not? You must trust that you will be ready each moment for whatever comes along. You will not perish, be abandoned, or starve in any way. All will be provided for you on the path. Oh yes, you will have your role and the responsibility for this alignment, to be sure. But allow us to reassure you once again that there is nothing coming your way that you won't be able to withstand. Always, we will hold your hand steadily and guide you. How could we not help you to traverse your many passages? We are your angels, and we love you so much. Whenever you extend pity, you reinforce suffering. But whenever you extend compassion and love, you end the suffering. Pity sees the suffering as a mirror of victimhood. And if you see people as victims, how are they to escape? You thus reinforce their sense of powerlessness, which crushes the very knowledge that will help them escape. With powerlessness, they must reach for help with every trial that they manifest. They become weak, dependent, and fearful. So much better to reinforce their inner power than their sense of powerlessness. Take them by the hand and lead them home by showing them the strength within. Reveal it to them by recounting examples of their courage, their temperance, their wisdom, and their kindness. Remind them of their own fortitude and help them to feel their own power grow. In this way, they can feel strong and interdependent once again. They see the power within their own grace, and this self-perception is reflected in the power within the angels around them. They represent a powerful center amidst a powerful and benevolent universe. This knowledge helps them so that they can help others. So you see that you do the world so much good when you lift someone's spirit through the process of empowerment, and yet you continue to query, why? Why is there suffering when God is all-loving and powerful? And we say that this is among the mysteries of the universe that is little understood. And still we try to explain gently that yes, our Creator is a mighty and powerful essence of the all-encompassing love. This love is so bright that it deflects all darkness. It doesn't fight the darkness, nor does the light fight the dark. Darkness simply is unable to penetrate the intensely bright glare of the One. It is literally cast away by the beaming brightness. Since no darkness can permeate the bright, the One does not experience darkness in any form. The One only knows light and all of its forms, joy, peace, happiness, and unity. The One does not experience any forms of darkness, including suffering. This does not mean that God ignores suffering or shows favoritism. It simply means that the One deputizes you to bring light to all situations of darkness. So be as the Creator and shine light upon any situation that is not built upon a foundation of joy. In this way, you act as the earthly angel who forms a bridge of light, allowing others to come home. With the increasing focus upon love in your world, it is no wonder that there is also a corresponding curiosity about the forms that love can take within human relationships. Chief within the prizes of love that you seek is the holy grail of soulmate loves, what you term your twin flame. The quest for a twin is an ancient one. It is a desire for validation that who you are is lovable. If you were to find one who mirrored yourself completely, and you loved one another, this would satiate your fears of ego origin. Your ego haunts you with questions as to your self-worth, and the idea of a twin flame provides you with hope that you are wholly lovable. First, let us assure you that, with or without a soulmate, or with or without a twin flame in your vicinity, you are wholly lovable. You, who are the grandest example of love in the universe, are built upon the wings of love. You are appreciated and desired by all that is holy, and it is your holy brethren who speak, in a voice barely distinguishable from the wind, of your mirrored existence. For you see that all beings as such are your twins, your brothers, your sisters, your flames. Yes, it is a special flame that you seek, to be sure, and we do not seek to mock or overstate this principle. We are here to encourage love, not to dissuade you. You are here to begin with, to experience love in all its grandest forms, and love's sweet kiss swells your heart like no other. We are your admirers, and we can bring to you the partnership that you deeply desire. The concept of a twin flame was engendered long ago. The pod from which your soul imparted itself before transversing to earth has many components. They are your family of origin of sorts, although the truth is that all who exist are part of you. There were close bonds forged within your soul pod in heaven nonetheless. And just as experiences shape your personality and destiny while you are here, so too do shared experiences create similarities and outlooks within groups in general. A basic example are two children who share a household and have life experiences together, which cause them to share certain opinions. In the soul pod within heaven's sphere, the same principle applies. A twin flame is akin to a best friend upon earth, and is one who so closely resembles you in thought and deed that you fall in love with yourself through his or her eyes. This is a being who has shared rich experiences with you, some in this lifetime and some in your past. At times, you may have looked over one another as a spirit guide. These relationships steered you both in similar directions through your shared experiences in heaven and upon earth. That is why it is not uncommon for twin flames, upon rejoining one another in adulthood, to have remarkably similar histories to one another. Will you meet your twin flame in this lifetime, you ask? Your question stems from your true underlying desire to feel wholly loved. And we remind you once again to begin your quest with a full cup, and not one that hungers for love. A desperate fear accompanies one who feels empty, and such fear is not a quotient for attracting the love that you seek. Prayer, meditation, yogic stretching, communion with like-minded souls, quiet reposes in nature, all are means to the end which you seek, a fulfillment of love. Once your desire for this love is quenched in the proper manner, through the inpouring of realizing God's enormous love that is within you now, you shall find the reflections of this love in your earthly experiences. You shall have love in such great quantities that it is as if heaven has poured giant buckets of love from a ceaseless well. Friends will smile and laugh with you, and you shall not feel lonely or unloved again. You do have great love within you at this very moment. Realizing this treasure trove quenches you so completely that your light beams across and upward through the cosmos. Miracles rush toward those who love so completely, and if you accept love through a human relationship, it shall be yours indeed. We have already discussed the importance of breath, exercise, and meditation, and we do not mean to goad you about this subject. That is why yoga is presented to you as a route to establish all of these conditions within a short time span. When you engage in the practice of yoga, the rejuvenation establishes within you a great surge of energy. Establishing your yogic practices within a specific schedule makes the habit become second nature, which we highly recommend. We do urge you to consider some form of yoga practice, however that may come. For some, it will be on a casual basis, while others will consider it to be a necessary part of their lifeblood. Yogic practices were introduced long ago and are only recently awakening in your lands. The practice now comes to you with an accumulation of prayers behind it, a force so great that by immersing yourself in its radiance, great transformation can take place. When you engage in the practice of yoga, you are immersed in the river flow of those ancient prayers. For those ancestors who practiced yoga so long ago sent their prayers forward in time, asking that all who forever after practice yoga become immersed in the magical energy of those ancient prayers. You who are intimidated by the extent of your flexibility, hear our call. The yogic practice is a silent path that enriches you from within. Use it as a measure to center yourself peacefully, and not as a route to establish your inferiority or superiority to another. Lest you think that we chastise you on this count, please know that we oversee the yogic practice as a sacred art and not a measurement of competition. You are perfectly aligned in all ways now, and the natural extension is to bathe your awareness with the flood of breath that comes as you stretch and bend. Delay not your yogic practice a moment longer, dearest one, for we see countless benefits upon you from this act. We will bring to you situations and teachers who can anchor your yogic practice and instill into you this new and lasting habit of deep and cleansing breath, mixed with periodic stretching. Within each moment of stillness, there lies a hearty action awaiting your connection. Through stillness, you cease to flood your mind with information that competes for your awareness. Through this stillness, you hear our words carried upon the silence of your breath. Be glad, then, that this extension of heaven's love comes to you through daily yogic postures. You who are scheduled so tightly that you cannot bear to add to your load of duties, this is a call to greater awareness through instilling a yogic practice. It is a miraculous example of receiving more through giving, in that the greater your devotion to your yogic practice, the more you do receive. Think us not callous or uncaring when referring to your time schedule, dear one. We merely tap you on the shoulder quite gently with our words, urging you tenderly toward that which you already know to be true. For at all moments, your free will shines like a beacon on the horizon. We do not seek to, nor can we, bend that light to suit any will but your own, which is truly one part of God's will. For you will find your own way unto your retreat in stillness, and we offer you our words as a gift to you now. We do see your outcome with each choice that you make, and we seek only to encourage you whenever possible to make the choice for happiness in all ways. You are God's greatest triumph, and as you revel in your recovered awareness of this plain fact, allow us angels to slip off all layers of painful soot collected through your travels. Allow us to dust away sad memories and unpleasant journeys. Your new aspects await you, as graceful as a ballerina, as gentle as a lily pad, and as secure as any fortress. You are home, you are safe, and you are loved, now and always.